Hello there team. So this is quite an unusual little 3v5 on one of the newer maps, Spire of Anduin. As you can see from the minimap, it's quite a strange amalgamation of these various ridges, and the first time I had actually seen this was in Pixelated Apollo's recent video. I've never played on this one yet, well I've not played on this one yet, so well, I think I've got a decent grasp of what it's all about. So this is actually classed as a cityscape map, I'm being told, but it's much more of a field, but there are various choke points that the, I suppose you could say defenders are going to be trying to hold out on. Masterblaster sent this one in, or well, I grabbed this one from the RH Clan's communal video dump, so I'm pretty grateful for that. He's playing as Numenor here. And they've got the specials on, so that's good. It gives Numenor a little bit of a leg up. So, not so much a leg up, it gives them a bit of help. So, the Alcarondas Legion here. Behind them, some Temple Executioners, some of their own Mena Infantry, some Romena Bows, some more Alcarondas Legion, some Seafarers of Nindamos there, Romena Nardukadar, and then some more Seafarers, some Sentinels, Nardukadar, more Seafarers, and some Romena Infantry, the Golden Legion, or not the Golden Legion, the Royal Legion of Armenalos, and the Farzam Swordmasters there. Then he also does have some cav that I zoomed on by, and that's the Farzam Nobles. Pretty flat ground, so definitely good to get some anti-cavalry capabilities, even with an Ardukadar there. Not too many pikes, the only pikes he's got are the Sentinels, so important to grab something before it reaches your line. Now there is a blue mark here, but it's hiding in the trees. His ally's got something there. His ally being Thick Dick over here as Mordor. Minas Morgul chosen. Lots of Minas Morgul chosen. One spread out, one nice and tight. But the bulk of Mordor's forces are actually lined up back here, and I think they're going to be swinging around to fight alongside his ally there. So what has he got? Some Moranon infantry. Lots of Moranon infantry on the front. Yeah, Blackguard we're seeing. Blackguard of Barad-dûr, and some Temple Guard on the right flank. Moranon halberds there, some more Moranon halberds, and yeah, lots of Moranon halberds. Good for a sort of defensive scenario. Never going to really beat a civilized man faction version of sort of halberds, but they're decent really. And Sauron's well, more Sauron's well. The Nazgul, Temple Executioners, have they got an armor upgrade? They do, yes, you can see. And the Bulldogs of Durthang, and lastly the Ologai. And their last ally is Lothlorien over here, Captain Gervais. So three pretty experienced players over here on this side, which they're going to need to be, because this is not giving them too much of a defensive advantage. So they've got the March Wardens of the Wood here. I should say that was Lothlorien, I might have mentioned that. 2 March Wardens, 3 March Wardens, and some Lorenan Archers. Back here, Lorenan Spears, and some Kindred, I'm seeing. Some Lorenan Swordmasters, Eldar Council there, some Lorenan Spears, Axemen, some more Eldar Council, some more Axemen, and some Archers. So it's good. Lothlorien has definitely brought quite a few Archers today because his allies don't have many, and there's not really too many places to hide here. So if you're going to rely on one faction's range unit, then Lothlorien is probably the one for it. It does look like the attackers are going to give the defenders a bit of time to move around into position, so I'm probably going to go to normal speed until I start seeing some major movement. And they're probably going to start moving immediately, and yeah, well. So what we've got in the attack here are actually 5 Harad armies, which is kind of, yeah, quite a lot of fun, I think. I always like people to you know, to try and coordinate factions. It's always nice to see. I would have loved to have gotten one of their battle reports, because then I could see all of their kills. That'd be fantastic. But we'll make do. We've got the Mimikill on here, and we've got quite a lot of Mimikill along the line, as you can spot. This is Beowyn. It's got the Demons of the Desert, some Champions of Nafarat there, 2 Trollmen. Up the front, dismounted Serpent Guard. Haradrim Archers. Oh, sorry, that's his ally. I'll continue on Beowyn first. A nice Mahud Berserker line. Then Southron Pikes. And some more Demons of the Desert. Then there's probably some Serpent Fangs hiding there. I'm trying to think of a small unit that can deploy pikes. Not pikes, stakes. So very melee focus from Baywin, and good melee forces, I would say, even if they are not heavily armoured. Best Shay here has some Haradrim Spears, a bit more fodder for the line, more Mahud Berserkers, Dismounted Serpent Guard there, then some Southron Archers behind, and some Champions in Afrat. Now a lot of his forces will be hiding in these trees too, so we'll try and spot some stuff as the game actually kicks off. This next unit of Mimikil by Son of Durin, Champions in Afrat and Trollmen, they're moving. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit to make sure we get through everybody. Dismounted Serpent Guard have popped up, Southron Warband there, and Beast Tamers. A long line of Beast Tamers, which are Phalanx units, even with their just shorter spears. Then Southron Warband there, and then 2 units of Mahud Berserkers. I maybe need to use Mahud Berserkers a bit more often. We're seeing a lot of them here. And of course the Mimikil, I think they were the first thing I grabbed. So his ally, Son of Durin's all over there, is next. Southron Pikes, there's 2 units of Southron Pikes. Trollmen of Harad, the Serpent's Fangs. Of course, Mimikil, again from next. I'll ground this open field, unsure what could be there. Well, certainly not an open field in the trees. And the last Harad is Hiano. Not seen Hiano before. So, we'll see how this goes. 2 Mahud Beast Hunters. Champions in Afrat, 2 Berserkers, oh no, I was about to say 3 Berserkers, I think that's the first Mahud Warriors we've seen today. And of course, Mimikil, Dismounted Serpent Guard, 2 units of Haradrim Spears for fodder, Southron Pikes mixed in with Southron Warband, that's actually kind of effective, a lot of AP, and Southron Archers there as well. So I suspect that as I say, the attackers are going to be giving the defenders some time to move over. I'll start the game officially now, but I suspect that there's going to be a bit of shuffling around. I might end up doing a cut. Perspectives right now. The Numenorians have brought a lot of their seafarers, which are going to be very important in order to strike down those Mimikil. Because if those Mimikil can be destroyed just by throwing weapons, or I guess like throwing weapons are really the main way that they're going to be destroyed here. There's no artillery pieces. Even 1 ballista could be incredibly effective. We're seeing some orc javelins there from Mordor. That's going to be very helpful. It is going to mean that the defenders, I'm going to call them the defenders even though this is more of a field battle. It does look like the 3 are being holding up in a position. There's probably an army on the move that has just been surrounded by this horde of Southrons. The Eldar Council, of course, as well, from Lothlorien. They have a lot of tools to take down these Mimikil. So it's just going to be, the Mimikil, of course, will not care about these stakes. So it's going to be a lot to do with just how are they going to be able to tease out those javelin volleys before the Mimikil have to show up. And the defenders are going to be constantly worrying about, well, I can't use my javelins. They're going to have perfect scenarios, perfect situations to use their javelins up against hordes of infantry, and they're just not going to be able to because they need to hold on to them. I'm going to speed it up, yeah. Next is moving up, but I think it's just going to be a case of the defenders are holding up in this little area, which it could be good. So there's 1 choke point there, 1 there, and 1 very, quite narrow one here. But in terms of a normal cityscape battle or a normal siege battle, this is a massive entrance, and it is the most narrow choke point that they're going to have to defend. So this is a tough ask for the defenders, certainly. It's not going to be easy for them here, but they do have good armies to do this with. Both elves and Numenorians are going to be able to cut through, waves of Southrons without worrying too much. These Temple Executioners, I think, have just been they're cheering, yeah. I think he's set them to maybe cheer, and they stopped moving. So hopefully Thick Dick will get them moving soon. Black Riders, of course, specials are on. I noticed this, I was actually doing some testing a while ago, and the Black Riders, this is a new thing to do with the new version that's come out. The Black Riders are unfortunately missing from their horses, but they are exceptional anti-cav units, even if it is just wild horses ramming into people. We'll see how that all goes, because the enemy really haven't brought many horses today, which they're kind of relying on their Mimikill to do the charging job of cavalry. So it's going to be interesting. I think it is unfortunate because the Black Riders are expensive, and those Fires and Nobles are not cheap either. So that's a lot of money that has been poured into anti-cavalry, and the enemy just haven't brought cav. Now, Melkor's chosen as well. Oh, saying that, no, Beast Tamers. This looks like an engagement that's happening. Maybe fighting is actually occurring, and the defenders are just making some good tracks. I don't think so. Because surely you just want to be running riot with your Mimikill, grabbing all these bowmen. I wonder what is going on over on this side though. Because they definitely did chase these men away, well, these Melkor's chosen away. Are these men running? No, take your time. You've got, you don't want to be showing up tired, especially when you're already massively outclassed. The Mordor units should provide them a lot of numbers, and especially since Mordor has brought so many of these halberds, they'll be able to go toe-to-toe up against a lot of Southron warriors for quite some time. The AP of the halberds, of course, is going to be absolutely wasted, but maybe, well, it's not really worth taking Angmar, but Angmar do have the Angmar pikes instead. But no, I think you'll be doing okay with these Moranon halberds. And really, the bright white Numenorians really do sort of stick out amongst the black Mordor forces. A lot of dirt on these men already. That's a shame. Yeah, it looks like Mordor has kind of taken the initial front job, which is noble often, and I think, to be honest, it is probably the best idea. If you can just have the enemy throw their fodder at the front lines of Mordor, that will keep the Numenorians nice and fresh and healthy for when the actual troops show up. These dismounted Serpent Guard will not go down easy though, and the amount of Southron pikes that the enemy have brought to the field today. The Hishari Stalkers popping up there. What I am scared about are the Demons of the Desert. Because there's so much open ground here, the demons are not going to be as brutal as they are in some battles. But still, like a nice jam-packed unit like these Nardukadar will devour a lot of those javelin volleys, and they will not come off well from it. Romena bows as well. Those Romena bows here with their armor-piercing arrows, I just don't know. If I knew I was going up against 5 Harad armies, I would have maybe gone different. But saying that, you've got units like these Serpent's Fangs, and to be honest, I'd love to see what the Romena bows could do up against a Mimikill, because crossbows can mince Mimikill quite nicely, so they would probably do some good work too. But yeah, counter fire against these Serpent's Fangs would go very nicely with the Romena bows. More Serpent's Fangs, very good bowmen. Of course, the morale damage is going to be pretty effective against these Moranon infantry. Nice sort of it's lovely, really. Nice spread out Moranon infantry, sort of back, well, like spreading around a halberd line is going to be pretty sturdy actually, and quite cheap. What is going on this side? Yeah, so it looks like we've got generally Beowyn. Beowyn's it's something I often forget that the Mimikill do actually have bows on top. I'm going to slow it down a bit because the fighting has sort of started here. The Kindred opening fire. Yeah, I didn't actually think the Lothlorien bow was coming into these Mimikill, because that'd be a shame to lose a Mimikill just because you're wanting to use up all of the ammo on it. But at the same time, he's using up a lot of this Kindred fire, but they're already getting bloodied. This might be a good move from Lothlorien, actually. I think it is. How many men is he losing? A few, but it's not the end of the world. What about this push here? Slow down for a sec, just we're passing over all these places. Serpent Guard there, but they need to get through. If they do get through, they'll be messing people up. Haradrim Archers kind of piled on top of Haradrim Spears and Southron Archers. I know that they're just here really to take enemy fire, but you've got to be careful when you're lining up like this. We're seeing poison arrows, must be from a Lothlorien unit coming into these men. That will shake them. But at this size, they're going to come back even if they do rout. Yeah, March Wardens of the Wood, actually, sorry. Yeah, March Wardens firing off those. Lothlorien is probably the faction I have the least experience with, I'm afraid. What do we have here? Oh, heck, these guys have taken a lot of firepower. Yeah, there's a lot of camels dead. But, oh dear, that might even be like a rout, really. Yeah, that'd be a shame. More camels dead over here as well. So yeah, no, that's not looking too great. But they've got their Haradrim Archers up here now, and this is really what you want. You want to just line up, take some shots at them, and really just make the enemy waste ammunition on your archers. I'd probably be tempted to get a little bit closer than they have. Because they don't really... They've got some cav, but if they push out cav to try and grab your archers, then, well, you target the calves, you get the Beastmasters in there that have survived, so that's good to see. So we've got Next, and who else is fighting alongside Next? There's a lot of Next forces. He's got Hiano, and then Son of Durin, and they're fighting off against the largest breach. And then we've got Bestchi. Bestchi seems to be sort of here on his own on this one, coming in with his more, well, slightly more quality Southron Archers. I'll do a fair bit of damage up against that. Especially, definitely good target the Lothlorien Archers. Lothlorien Archers are probably better in melee than Minas Morgul Chosen, I would say. Then over here, we've not seen a single Mimikill drop yet, but they must be taking some significant damage. Dismounted Serpent Guard there, getting a few off shots hitting them. But for a Southron unit, for a Harad unit, the Dismounted Serpent Guard are really great great armor on them and a shield, so. I'm surprised how sort of forward people are being with their Serpent's Fangs. You know, I would be very scared to kind of, I guess I put my general in the Serpent's Fangs, so I always treat them quite carefully. Guardians here taking some fire. It's definitely not what you want. You're going to need them when the clash actually occurs. There's not much they're going to be able to break them in a face-to-face fight. Apart from, of course, the Mimikill. Again, a lot of Mimikill archer fire. This is kind of cool. You just don't see Mimikill being used for their archers very often. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to know how many kills those archers are actually getting, because I do expect those arrows coming from the Mimikill are actually quite damaging. But you're just losing more on infantry, a few more on halberdiers going down too. But that's a dead Mimikill right there. And that might be the actions of these bows, these Remena bows. Could just be intense fire from another source, but no, I think it was the Remena bows. This is pretty good. So if they do have to clash into the line with the Mimikill, these Seafarers are perfectly placed to just rain hell on them and take them down. Beastmasters here just want to use their javelins. They're not really going to be able to use them against cav anytime soon. And since it's a small unit, they'll have quite a bit of ammo per person. So coming right into the Romena Nardukadar here is probably a good shout. I would be tempted to go into the halberds myself, but yeah, I don't know, just I feel the shield of the Nardukadar would be a bit of a pain in the ass to get through. Minas Morgul Chosen here, still really they've not suffered too many losses because the focus has been on the Lothlorien men behind them. There's no phalanx here, which is the issue. If they did try to slam a lot of infantry into this very quickly, I think they could make some good progress. It would, of course, direct a counter push from Lothlorien. Eldar Council pushed up, throwing directly into the Serpent's Fangs that are right here. Sad to lose the Serpent's Fangs, but as I said before, I think one of Harad's main goals is just try to use up enemy javelin fire. And if these Serpent's Fangs have to be sacrificed in order to do that, or at least partly sacrificed in order to do that, maybe that's worth it. One Mumakil down, and these ones will be bloodied. I think that they were sort of exposed to just too much high quality arrow fire from Lothlorien. You can see how bloodied they are. I would be quite concerned. I don't know how well they're actually going to go once they actually go in and they are really targeted by arrow fire. I think they're going to drop quite quickly. The Guardians have been pulled back, nice and safe and out of range. Alcrondas Legion hiding there in the forests. Lots of trees dotted around. The attackers and defenders can use them to sort of hide their strength. Black Riders swiftly zoomed out here. You know, who said horses are scared of camels? And to be honest, they're Nazgul on horses, so they can take a beating from arrow fire. I think he's trying to hide them there, but they're going to probably be able to shrug off a lot of that arrow fire for a while anyway. Hano has arrived fully now, and he's sort of lined up there. I think this is definitely just going to be a skirmish match for the first little while, which is definitely how I would approach this as an attacker. I would have moved my archers up a bit closer, as I say, but you know, these Haradrim archers are all out of ammo. They wouldn't have gotten many kills either way. Saying that, they've hurt some people. They definitely have hurt this halberd line. He's had to sort of spread it out a bit. Actually, strange. It looks like they're spaced out, and I think they definitely are. But they're in phalanx formation. Oh well, maybe that's just their default animation. Well, we've got Southron archers here. I've taken a bit of a beating. Again, Best G is probably not going to be too sad about that. These Southron archers are there to take fire. March Wardens of the Wood here from Captain Gervais, out of ammo. Damn, archers there. Not archers, sorry, rangers there. Pretty badly damaged. No doubt we'll still have a bit of ammo left, but you need to be careful. We have a cav push on this side, and oh wow, okay, a counter push. Some of these Lothlorien men have moved up to take on the dismounted Serpent Guard. I think that's probably just to try and tease some more forces out, but there's no anti-cavalry here. So even with the absolutely terrible charge that the Fires and Nobles have, they're still cav. They can still sort of shunt themselves into people and do some damage. And probably do a bit of morale damage. They might even be a frightening unit. I would certainly be a bit scared of them. But yeah, Lornand archers here are going to be doing a heck of a lot of damage. Don't want to lose this guy, but it looks like he is going to fall, unfortunately. But this has gone pretty well for Gervais. If he can just wipe out these units, but as soon as these pikes arrive, I think that's going to be it. That's going to be a different story. The arrow fire's coming for the pikes though. Maybe this is was an attempt to draw out the pikes. Because they, as I say, I think that just the excess that Harad has brought pikes is what's going to decide this battle. If those pikes can get into melee. This is not a, this is a bit of a sacrifice for Lothlorien, though he is losing some of his quite high quality line infantry. And a lot of those pikes have managed to get into position now. He's going to be able to get some shots on them from somewhere. Are these Eldar Council out of ammo? No, they've still got something left. Some more Lornan Axemen coming on in. But yeah, while everybody else is pretty happy to just skirmish for a while, there does seem to be a fight on the other end. Yeah, okay, there is. You can see a lot of corpses dotting this battlefield over here. Yeah, a lot of orcs dead, but that's, well, Uruks in their case, but that's really not the end of the world. Uruks are sort of made to die. A lot of bloodied Mumakil on this side. And it looks like the first major push. This is sort of a connected phalanx of Serpent Guard and Southron pikes. You need to make sure those Serpent Guard are just in front of the pikes. But there's not a massive amount of range fire on this end. Shadow bows though. Doesn't really matter if the dismounted Serpent Guard were in front or not. What are those shadow bows going into? Yep, looks like he's over here. A lot of men have dropped. Next, just hugging that wall, and now he's coming straight on in. I don't know how much he's going to have left, though. That's going to be a very bloodied force when it finally arrives, and I think the Moron Halberdiers are going to be enough to deal with it. They've spread out. Son of Durin is here too, of course. Haradrim archers out of ammunition can just sort of... They can fight on the front. They won't get many kills, but they'll hold somebody in place for a while. Serpent's Fangs there. Still have some ammo. Good enough fight too. Southron archers. Haino still has most of his ammunition. He had a long way to come. So he can be firing away as these enemies have to start forming a formation. The Sentinels in the centre, that's going to be incredible. But it's a heavy push on the left flank. Moron infantry broken. There's no flag on this battle, so once they break they're probably gone. And that's the big issue with holding this corner of a map. They're very close to just routing off the field. A connection has been made. Bestji, thing to keep in mind as well, Bestji's on his own here. So if he goes all out and he gets pushed back, then that's one entrance that the defenders can just leave a ghost defense force at. Really just a token force behind. And Bestji's taking a lot of losses on this front. He's just, again, the Minas Morgul Chosen have been performing very well in the past few battles that I've seen them in. And I just think I really do need to give them a try. There is, of course, a few Lothlorien men backing them up along this line, but on the left it's all Minas Morgul Chosen, and they're fighting very well. Some March Wardens there too, of course, but there is a gap. There's just not enough spare infantry, really. The Trollmen could maybe run on through, but keep in mind as well, sometimes areas look like they can be walked through, but they are not passable. This much thinner passageway though, Beowyn is going all in. Not all in really, but he's going for it. Southron pikes have been successful. And the elves are starting to get... Oh, they're almost getting surrounded here. The Trollmen are going to be tough to deal with, and the Mumakil have arrived. So we need to get some throwing units here. We're men of bows. As I say, I think they could do some good damage to a Mumakil close range especially. Is that targeting the... Oh, I didn't see anything drop. We're getting a lot of close range fire from the Kindred again. Alcarondas Legion coming up. The numbers and skill of the Númenórean men will definitely be necessary. Over here, the Eldar Council. If they have any ammunition, now is the time to use it. Mumakil are dropping. As I said, they were very bloodied. So even just March Warden fire might be able to bring a few of them down. Elves routing their 31 men. Very frightening units all around them. The Trollmen, the Mumakil. So Alcarondas Legion need to come in to stop this position on the right getting secured while getting surrounded. Lornand archers. My money would probably be on the archers in this case, yeah. Lothlorien men don't really rely on their, or elves, don't really rely on their armour, which is what the Berserkers would be good at breaking down. This position here is going quite well for the defenders, and as I said before, as soon as Bestji is done, this position is fine. They don't have to worry about it. This is where most of the numbers are going though. Dismounted Serpent Guard going off against the Nardukadar. The AP of the Nardukadar will be able to just pierce through the Serpent Guard without much issue. Sauron's well coming forward. Quite skilled units really. They managed to get a total flank around the Spearmen here. They will be breaking them soon, I'm sure. I'm surprised they've not already broken. The left pushes where the attackers really have most of their emphasis on. What are we at here? 28 for 33. It's normal for attackers to really be on the losing end at the start. But it's just all the way through this, especially now that the Oleg High have been sent on in, the attackers don't have any trolls at their disposal. The Black Riders running through the lines here, they're just able to do things that normal cavalry cannot. A good charge took out the Serpent's Fang general. Well, that was next general. So Harad does need their general. They don't have great morale. So they need to tie down these bloody Black Riders. And they just don't... hopefully the Berserkers will be able to slice them apart, but They've got so many hit points and they're so tough to kill. I really just wish they had I really wish they had a rider, although I do enjoy the sight of just these black horses running back and forth across the battlefield. Are they going to commit to a charge against the Mumakil? I think they are. This might work. A massive charge bonus on these black riders. They did it. Cannibalistic, well, not cannibal, carnivorous horses just biting away at the legs of the Mumakil took him down. We do have a successful push here. Oh, saying successful, they managed to break through. They killed a few of these men, but they've gone down. On the right side there, though. Oh god, is that running amok now? He's routing. He's not running amok, he's routing. He's gone down, though. The last Mumakil unit, nope. There's still a fresh one here by Hayano. Temple Guard, their AP, they'll be able to do some good damage to the more Temple Guard celebrating. Of course, the Numenorian Temple Guard and the Mordor Temple Guard. Trollmen have managed to slip up through that gap, which is what they needed. Now, it's always the issue of do you flank or do you push in to deal with the ranged units, and he's going in for the ranged units, which I definitely accept, especially considering the Watchers of the Golden Wood are right there. Watchers of the Golden Wood will be able to slice through these Trollmen, though, I suspect. Southron Archers still with ammunition. These Minas Morgul Chosen are still holding the damn line. And this is against Trollmen, too. Bestri again, like, it's just about keeping their focus on this line. He's not going to break through here. Being a one-man attacking a choke point, you're never going to be breaking through. Your job is to hold and just hold the attention of whatever you've got in front of you, so that your allies, where they are more dense, can attack through. I'm not saying dense in terms of intelligence, I'm meaning numbers, of course. Demons of the Desert, a good shot, yeah. No armor, they'll be taking some damage here, but good shots in these Alcarandas Legion. Surprised the champions in Afra are having so much trouble there. Nardukatar, sorry, the bowmen here have run up into position. This is a great place for them. Serpent Guard have pierced on through because of the slope. They've just not been able to get a perfect charge. Yeah, that's too bad for them. That was a good move from Bestri. Important thing to remember as well when you're in this sort of scenario, if your units can be more useful, even though he is pushing through this side, his cav were more useful over here, which it's just if there wasn't this little slope, that would have been a beautiful charge. He is still managing to sort of shut them down, or at least kill quite a few of them. They're going to be firing away for a while. Continuing to sort of pound away at the Demons of the Desert. Eldar Council swooping on in. Going to slow it down a little bit. Oh, not that much. I just do feel I'm missing some things. Still one fresh unit of Mumakil over there. Tables have turned over here on the right side. 49 for 51. Attackers are down, but not by much. Melkor's Chosen here. They've got a good charge on them. And they need to be shut down. They're charging into the Southron Warband, so they did change their course. Very close range though, but it did work. There's a lot of Beast Hunters taken out. AP from the Beast Hunters will be helpful, but they don't have any sort of anti-cavalry bonus. Damn, they got dropped really far. Down to 103 men, 99 men, yeah. I did not expect them to take anywhere near that much damage from that charge. That was a very close range charge. Well, by close range, I mean short run up. Southron Pikes, they're actually struggling a bit. Blackguard have sort of managed to push in, displace them. I think a lot of people think about these high mass units, they think, oh, they're only good at really breaking a line, but sometimes just buckling a line is important too. And it's good sometimes for defenders as it is attackers, or even in field battles. You can make use of them. The Trollmen here coming in, I'd expect them to be very effective against the Nardukadar. But the Nardukadar are winning that current engagement, backed up by some Seafarers, who are quite effective in a fight. My money would have still been on the Trollmen. Speaking of trolls though, we've got the Olakai, quite bloodied, but still doing alright. These Mumakil are marching on forward now. I think now is the time to use them, even though there are these Seafarers back here. I just don't... Yeah, I wouldn't be too sure myself. I'd be tempted to bring them around here and just run right on down that sentinel's line. Because right now that's going to come on to the right flank, which this is where the push is actually being quite effective. And they're breaking through. Beast Hunters there, do they have ammo? No, maybe they need to throw themselves into this flank, because if Masterblaster makes contact, that's going to get bloody real quick. There's not much left defending this area, because Bestia is really starting to run out of troops, but they're starting to turn around for it. These men do need some support, and they just don't have anything nearby to do it. So maybe what I was saying before, it's going to be wrong. Bestia might be the one to break through. The Fires and Nobles arriving is going to be pretty frustrating. I don't think there's a high damage archer unit nearby, unfortunately. So nope. Nobles won't have much health left. Well, they might be doing okay, but surely they'll be struggling soon. The Elder Council reloading. Yeah, definitely would be worth a shot into the champions if they could. And the Guardians there. Yep, Guardians coming on in. Mixed in with some Swordmasters. There's nothing that can break through that, really. You've got to be quite exceptional to break through that front line. That'd be a good time for the Demons in the Desert, but I think the Demons were used pretty well, to be honest. Alcarondath Legion 7 there, of course, locked morale, which is incredible for a men-at-arms unit. It's nice to see. This push has actually been quite effective, far more effective than I thought. They'll be throwing around these Chosen, but he needs to keep moving. He needs to keep running them around. There's some high damage infantry nearby. Royal Legion of Armellos have come in, and the Trolls will be able to bash the kneecaps out of these Mimikil, unfortunately. So we'll speed it up a little bit, go back to 1 speed. I think we can last that for a while. Blackguard routing 56. They would under normal circumstances, I'd say they'd come back, but they don't have much room. If they take a beeline all the way to the corner, they might. Yep, no, they turned around. Okay. Yeah, that's not the way off the field, boys. This forest, though, is very effective. As I say, it lets you hide your strength. People start to move troops around away to the other flanks, and then suddenly 2 full units of Muhaj units pop up. That looks like it was Baywin's general over there, who just went down. Well, there's poison arrow fire. He needs to be careful when he runs back. I'm sure Masterblaster will be, but needs to watch out for that. Southron archers now have ammo. I guess I was about to say it would be good to run through that way, but no. Son of Durin has seen this opportunity. That's good. So he's run his men down here. They're all still fresh and sizable too, which it's all going to be down to how these Fires and Nobles are dealt with. I think a lot of fire coming into them, and that was they'll be receiving a lot of swings from these berserkers, but that was a good charge.
They have lost half their men.
So yeah, these berserkers are needed on the front line, definitely. Now what's happening over here? I think the defense has held, but at great cost.
The enemy army flees the field.
That's one of the people. I think that's Baywin wiped off there, or it might be best. No, I think it's Baywin. Damn, these 66 boys. They could have gotten a lot more kills, I would say. Serpent Guard hanging around there, so he needs to keep something back here. The defenders need to leave some sort of anti-cavalry unit, and they just don't have any. So yeah, it's smart for Bestia just holding them there for now. There's a lot more to a siege attack than just pushing at the right, pushing in the right places. You need to time your attacks properly, and sometimes just being intimidating. He has to cross this very carefully. Good old Masterblaster, yeah, he's doing it right. Sometimes just being somewhere, being a bit scary is just as important. 1 Mimikil left. He's running amok though, so as long as these men stay back, they're fine. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, that's not what the defenders want to. The attackers want to see. Oh crap! Oh hell, that's not good. Those men need to get back up. Not all of them are getting back up there. Most of them are. but still, that was about as bad as it could have gotten. I think he charged down there and charged back up this way. He's back on this side now. The Romena bows are there. Yeah, it'd be a waste of ammunition. You just need to keep an eye on him. You don't want to fire something off toward him. A few of those shots going up, unfortunately. I do love this when you've got a lot of Mimikill on the battlefield and they just start forming little barriers. It is annoying because your men will try and just run through them, but no, it changes up the battlefield. These men trying to run through, but be stopped by the corpses of the Mimikill. That one is. Oh no, it's reforming. I don't think it's going to be able to receive commands though. Stalkers out of ammunition there. They can at least defend themselves for a while due to their high skill, but they're not going to get many kills in the front line. I should really be doing this, shouldn't I? Yeah. Just sort of see where breaks are occurring. This is no longer really a front line. This is just various little confrontations. We're seeing a good push made here by these troll men. Not troll men, sorry. There's a nice mixture of these serpent guard and the pikes. They're going to need to have some good infantry brought up to deal with them. Yeah, as I talked before, a lot of units just getting caught up against these Mimikill. Where did that occur? It's over here, I think. No? There was some champions in Afarat. Stalkers, as I said before, they could do with getting moved in. Ah, but it seems maybe they don't know they're out of ammunition. So you'd prefer them shoot your stalkers than some other things, I suppose. What is going on here? There's been a good push made by Son of Durin. Yeah, as I say, this just barrier was not enough, and the shadows are pushed, and they have ammo. What are we at here? 73 for 80. The attacker's still behind, but they've made breaks now. And those stalkers are quite scary if they're able to find a nice position. Bestie's actually come through as well. The Guardians facing off against the front of those Guardians is not something that's possible, really. These champions need to come around the flank. He's got a lot of open space here. This front-to-front face-to-face engagement is just not going to work. Even with Shadow support. Shadow and wait. Oh, sorry. Yep. They've just decided to split apart. Oh well, that's fine. These units are firing away. So maybe this is going quite well, actually. The nobles are going to really put a stop to those shadows, and there's also fire coming into them as well, the March Wardens. But a break has been made here, and this southern side is going to be lost.
Our general lies slain upon the battlefield.
That's Masterblaster's general. He was amongst the nobles. Whew, that surprises me. I guess the nobles there were just so badly damaged. Those shadows did very nicely against them. I thought they would just be dissolved. Rangers there, still firing away. So I think it's all going to come down to how the defenders are able to wipe out this force, and how many men. Because I think the defenders will win here, especially with Melkor's Chosen coming in. Oh, they still had ammo, those stalkers. Warriors sort of failing here, but it's tough to beat Numenorians. The Sentinels are still doing quite nicely. No, it looks like even with this push that I was quite enjoying, it's been answered to, yeah, by the Temple Executioners. I just don't think the attackers have enough to deal with the elite units that the defenders have left. You know, they still have units like the Temple Executioners, like the Royal Legion, even if there aren't many Royal Legion. There's still 33 of them left. Saying that, 19 champions will be able to mince them. Well, they'll lose, but they'll hurt them bad. The Hood Warriors here. I don't put too much stock in the Hood Warriors myself, but maybe they'll be able to scare off this unit of Moron infantry. Just 33 of them left, pretty intimidated, and more champions in Afra. A nice big unit of them on this side coming up against the Temple Executioners. That is quite a confrontation, actually, of sword masters. Both very different types of sword masters, of course. But the Executioners seem to be winning that right now. They're backed up, of course, by some Nandurkadar. Now, what's going on the some orc javelins out of ammunition, I would expect. No, they still have ammo. Shadows here just opening fire on some rangers. I would be tempted to actually charge them myself. You probably kill them faster by shooting them, but I just think that the ammunition could be better on something else. Whereas just a few quick charges, rangers are wiped out from cav charges, even from very light cav. Dismounted Serpent Guard there, doing some good work. March Wardens here, still with ammunition. I thought woman Gervais used up all of his shots, but he's doing alright. Coming to the side, and now with the shadows gone, this position is being wiped out. Oh yeah, here 82 for 91. So yeah, the defenders are really starting to pull ahead now, and a lot of what they have left are elite units. I think that this position is wiped out entirely. Almost. The champions in Afra here up against the Temple Executioners. A good sort of rear push by the Melkor's Chosen, and they needed some more on infantry, and these men might even break. I'm not sure if the champions are locked morale or not.
Good tidings. The enemy general lies dead.
That was another general wiped out by the Numenorian Temple Executioners. It's these men here, and I think I might find a nice spot and settle down for the last 2,000 frames. I just think that this side shot is going very nicely. Oh, the Serpent Guard have shown up. That's good. A nice final move for the Serpent Guard. There's not really much to really shut them down. The Fires of Nobles are so weak right now that even just a quick charge from the Serpent Guard might be able to take them out. Mid Warriors from Son of Durin turned up, but men at bows are great. They are men at arms at the end of the day. Serpent Guard still coming in for a charge up against these March Wardens. They'll kill a good few more. What's fighting over here? Dismounted Serpent Guard fighting to death, but being so close to the end of the battlefield, they'll run off. Or Javis, I'm really impressed that the defenders have managed to keep all of their javelins. Well, keep so many javelins until the end. Seeing these last two horsemen, or horses, running around here, it's quite nice. The Black Riders have done quite well for themselves, actually. I was kind of concerned because of the lack of enemy cav. I didn't think that. I thought that the defenders had put too much money into these melee cav units, but they've done well with them, and that's been nice to see. A push by Son of Durin here, but Orc Javelins coming in is going to be dealing with these guys. Of course, the AP effect of Javelins is not going to be too effective. Well, it's not going to do as much against these guys as it would, but it's, they don't need too much to take down, and they're routing now. A clash here by the Berserkers in some Lorenand archers. Gervais has fallen back, and the Melkor's Chosen will answer to them. What's going on here? Is that a break? Serpent Guard broke in. It might come back, and this area has entirely been taken out. I say that though, there's still some men hiding amongst the Mumakil. So we've got a lot of people admitting defeat now. So that was a pretty good fight, actually. I was pretty concerned, given the situation of the defenders, and just sort of the total flat ground around them. I don't necessarily think anybody did anything wrong. I think that was largely there were too many Mumakil on the field, and the enemy just had so many javelins. Had they not brought as many javelins, I think that yes, taking that many Mumakil would have been fantastic. But in addition to that, I think maybe a more coordinated effort to use the Mumakil at the same time could have worked. Like a real, say if everybody had moved their Mumakil around to one area and just blitzed on in. Or, I talked about this before in the Carn Dûm siege, when they were trying to outpace a catapult. But perhaps say if all of the Mimikill were hanging out on this side, this narrow end, and then everybody ran their Mimikill all the way around to the top, the wide entrance, because then all the defenders would have had their javelin throwers at that narrow entrance, and then it would have been a case of nope, we're running all the way around. It's a long distance to run, but at the end of the day, their Mimikill, they can cover distance quite quickly. Maybe that would be a bit unnecessary, but that's maybe a thought I would have had. But I think it would have definitely worked a bit better had there been a bit more coordination with the defenders of when to use them. Farazim nobles there racked up so many kills. Yeah, that was awesome for them. I was scared, as I mentioned just 2 seconds ago. I was scared about the amount of lack of cav the enemies had. I didn't think they would be so useful, but they did good. Alcaronda's Legion, their locked morale, they are there to hold the line and die, and they did very well. They'll always rack up a few kills doing that. Romena Infantry racked up a few more kills, so that was quite impressive from them. Farazim Sword Masters did very nicely. I never think too highly of the Sword Masters, but that's just because I just don't do well with them for some reason. Temple Executioners there did quite nicely as well. A nice armor upgrade for them. Royal Legion of Armenelos. I always go for the Royal Legion over the Sword Masters if I have to choose. There's just so many of them in a unit, and they're great. The Temple Guard there. Nice armor-piercing arrows, of course. Not great up against infantry, but I think that it was the armor-piercing arrows that were just damaging those Mimikill over and over again, which is nice. Romena bows, he had 3 of them. Yeah. I think that, as I say, I think they were targeting the Mimikill, and then after they run out of arrows, they're more infantry, and they're good, on the front line. The Sentinels there, the second best pike unit on the field of this battle. So they were able to hold the line, hold the centre up in that northern position. So that was good. Then the 3 Seafarers. I think the Seafarers were there to largely counter Mimikill, but you're always going to take them in a pitch battle as Numenor. Numenor just really benefits from grabbing them. So that was good. But everybody brought javelins. And I think this would have been pretty messy had they not. Overall for the defenders, I was scared about just generally their lack of archers. I thought that would go against them, but no, they played off quite nicely, I thought. Talk about Masterblaster, yeah. Thick Dick there, yeah, he was the front line, and he's actually racked up a lot of kills, so that's cool to see. He was the front line, he was there, his men were there to die. He had 500 more men than the rest of his defending allies. So no, he did that, and he did that very well. I was surprised to see those Orc Javelins still alive. I absolutely loved the Black Riders. That was cool. What got me was just that Black Rider charge into the Mimikill. That was cool. I never really I just didn't think that would be possible. I've charged Mimikill with Cav before. It's a very cautious. You've got to be very cautious doing it, but you can get some good work done. But I just didn't see that as a possibility right there. And yeah, Gervais, he had a lot of archers because his allies just didn't. I wonder if that was something they chatted about, or if that's just Lothlorien is always going to bring a lot of archers. And Elves can kind of get away with that just because of the skill of their archers in melee. Baywin, he was generally down on that narrow pass by himself. He did pretty nicely, especially with the countercharge that came at him. I think maybe slightly too quick with the demons. But, he needed to push through, and the demons were sort of necessary to do that. So yeah, no, that's fine. And I'm always going to be pretty sympathetic to a dude that has to take a place by himself. Because there were 3 in the north, and then Bestia and Baywin sort of had one to themselves. Part of the Son of Durin, of course, he showed up afterward. Bestia as well, he was good. He didn't throw himself all in there at once, which is generally that's how you would break a position. But there's no point in really breaking a position if your allies are still just fighting away on their ends. He was there to kind of just whittle the enemy down and hold their attention, and he did that really well. And it was good that he sent his Serpent Guard down to the south when an opportunity opened for them. Son of Durin saw a good opportunity as well, came in to actually blitz his way through Bestia's position. I think his men were definitely better off down there rather than continuing to throw themselves in at the top. The top was just, for being such a wide area, the defenders really held that nicely, so that was quite good. Next as well, yeah, he was up in the top, and I think was it his Mimikil just got ripped and pieced quite early on, but no, you know, for being such a, well, he probably isn't. I don't think he is a new player, like, but I just never seen his name before. So, but no, that went quite nice. It was good. It was good that everybody in the north was using those forests to hide their men. It's just an important thing to keep in mind, because it's always about, everybody's always looking at, like, what do they have left? What do they have left? Great, okay, they don't have anything left now, so I can start using my javelins, and then suddenly, hey, this pops out. So so that's quite effective. But no, so yeah, fun battle. Going away for about 2 days, so hopefully this is uploaded on Tuesday. If it's not, it'll be uploaded on Friday. We'll build, but we'll see. Right, thanks.